This witness, how should I put this? She has an illness. And because of this illness, she has tried to commit suicide in the past. Oh, he's just gonna blab the entire court. No matter how much you want to hide it, it's no use. I have the evidence right here. That's... the attempted suicide report. What will you do now, witness? You know what I am about to do, don't you? I will now reveal to the court the true nature of the pitiful woman known as Adrian Andrews. That scares her more than anything else in the world. Please, please don't tell anyone, please! If you're going to say you would choose death, that is of no concern to me. Fucking cold! Stone cold! However, before you die, I will pull the truth from your still breathing lips. No matter what I have to do. So will you tell the court yourself, or shall I? Either is fine with me. Damn! God damn! Nothing matters anymore. When I first saw him, I really thought he had fainted, honest. When I realized he was dead, that was when I formulated my plan. Once I made sure there was no one in the hallway, I made a dash back to Matt's room. And then, I stabbed Juan's dead body with a knife and ripped off the button. Just when I finished and was returning to Matt's room, I had a bit of an inconvenience. And that's why I ended up using the Nickel Samurai costume. Okay, now, okay, I actually believe that. Stab the body with a knife? Why would you do that? Isn't it obvious? To pin the blame on a certain person. A certain cowardly man. What do you mean by all of this? It might take this cult a little while to understand, but... this is the truth. The real killer is Matt. That scumbag of a man. I'll never forgive him. Let's get his guilt again, just like last time. Okay. You have my attention. Miss Andrews stabbed the victim, Juan Corrida, in the chest with the knife. Just like in Clue. However, she didn't do it with murder in mind. She did it with the intent of framing Matt on guard for the murder. And this is her crime. You the real murderer? Mr. Wright, please get over your shock and commence the cross-examination. You could tell from the state the room was in that there must have been a struggle. I'm telling the truth when you say that you did not know he was dead? He had a scarf tied around his neck. And that scarf is a part of the Jamming Ninja's costume, so I didn't think anything about it was strange. His head was also tilted down a bit, so I couldn't see his face that well. That's why I thought I'd wake him up, and went to pour the juice. When I realized he was dead, that was when I formulated my plan. Tell me about this plan. I knew right away the murder was Matt. I knew because, one, he was going to expose Matt's weakest weak point to the world. So Matt did this to stop Juan and silence him for good. That's when I thought I should forge some evidence and pin this crime on Matt. The four pieces of evidence were the knife and the button. Was thinking in mind was to plant the knife? To make sure there was one in the hallway, I made a dash back to Matt's room. The knife Matt used at dinner had his fingerprints all over it. I thought that if I used that, then the police would certainly turn their eyes towards him. And I was napping with his costume on at the time. I slipped in, took the knife, and returned to the scene of the crime. And then I stabbed Juan's dead body with a knife and ripped off the button. I finished and was returning to Matt's room. Oh. So you were the one who stabbed the victim with that knife. It gives me goosebumps to think about it now. What a horrible thing I did. But at the time, I couldn't control my own body. I moved on its own. Then when I stabbed Juan's dead body, I suddenly realized something. If I used the button somehow, I could make Matt look even more suspect. So you thought to rip off one of the buttons and then plant it in Mr. Anga Takama. But these things never go that smoothly, do they? Poor girl. An inconvenience. There was a woman with the camera at the ready, loitering in the hallway. Yup. There's also a woman with a ray gun at the scene, pacing back and forth. Yeah. I've been caught and made into a big scoop for a certain weekly tabloid once. So I couldn't very well go out looking like myself and get caught again. A very logical, a very rational decision. So you were the one who prepared the cat costume, weren't you? Yes, I took it from the Global Studios. To put into Juan's guitar case the day before the award ceremony. So you did know that it was there. Yeah, for the best, you did know it was there and where it was. Yes, Juan wanted to wear that costume and hold a press conference in it. He was going to disclose Matt's big secret there. That I don't know. Anyway, I thought that if I were to leave Juan's room in the Nickel Samurai costume, I would think that Matt was the real murderer. Very careful not to leave any fingerprints when I opened the guitar case. So I did not want anyone to know about the costume. Alright, so nothing to present on. Into Matsukama, yes. After that, I folded up the costume I was wearing and put it into a bag. And I snuck it out of the hotel and got rid of it. Mr. Edgeworth, is it? The real criminal is Matt on guard. Yesterday, that woman prosecutor sat me down for a talk. Said that I should under no circumstances confess what I had done. That if I just kept quiet, then Matt would be found guilty for sure. I had no choice but to believe in her words. However, as long as her testimony stands, you can be certain she is not the real killer. Wait, Your Honor. The defense still... Right. It's pointless. At this point in time, it is not possible to indict Miss Andrews on anything. He's a murderer. The cross-examination of the witness is over, and so is today's trial. You couldn't establish that the witness was the culprit? Please let it go, Mr. Wright. But Maya... Mr. Edgeworth, please place Mr. Andrews under arrest for further questioning. Understood, Your Honor. The prosecution will arrange for detention immediately. It's over. It's Jover. We failed. It's over. Witness, would you mind if I asked you something? Before you leave court today, I wondered if I might look at one thing. The card in your hand. It had my interest for quite some time now. Oh, this? Mr. Wright also asked about this. Although I didn't remember at the time you asked me about it, Mr. Wright. Remember just now, I found this in the room on that day. Yes. I found this card when I discovered Juan's body. It was lying there right next to him. I suppose I must have unconsciously slipped it into my pocket. But it's not as if this card's anything relevant to Juan's murder, right? Still strange if you ask me. But as far as a clue to this case, I don't see why... Witness that card! Give it to me! Hurry! Do you have any idea what you have stupidly yet inadvertently done? This, I can't believe you hid this from me all this time. Uh-oh. Something's weird with this card. What does it mean? What about the card? Well, the trial is over at the very least. Though... I can kill law offices. We failed. I can't take it anymore. Everything may still work out. The condition was that we had to get a not guilty verdict. And so far, the kidnapper has kept his word and hasn't hurt Maya. Well, because the Strong Guard hasn't been given a guilty sentence yet. That's true. Like, he still, if he kills Maya, he loses the leverage. You're right. Mr. Maya is in much more pain than I am. Glad I caught you, pal. And dubbed Mr. Gruffy Detective in Pearl's book now. Dick dumped you now, and I came to talk to you, pal. Oh yeah, he's not a detective anymore. So what are you going to do from now on? What do you mean, pal? Well, you've been fired, right? So what, do you have a job lined up? I don't have anything coming in at all until my next payday. You don't have another payday? I guess that means I'm just gonna have to work here at your place, pal. No, we can't afford you. You pal? I've got lots of experience in investigating and watching over people's places. Really, we can't afford it. Instant noodles. That's not surprise. Like that. Never thought he'd say something like that. Didn't care if Mr. Andrews killed herself. Because of him doing that, we got the truth finally. That was unusually cold even for fucking Edgeworth. By yourself, but I still think there is something fundamentally wrong with the whole thing. I wish you want to know, I mean, almost need to frame Mr. On Guard. I couldn't figure out that from anything she said at all that day. And you're saying that testimony was a lie? Not a lie per se. It just feels like there's more here than meets the eye. I believe it. Even that woman prosecutor was better than that. Speaking of Ms. Von Karma, do you have any more information on her condition? Mr. Karma was shot today on the way to the trial by a pistol. I mean, Edgeworth says she was in stable condition, but... Well, she was shot in the shoulder, so she's okay and still hanging in there. Same place as her daddy. She's done taking the bullet out, so she's probably resting at the hospital. Hey, you've actually got a heart, don't you? Since she was being tortured to death by not being able to go to the trial today. Let her whip us. Oh, that's funny. Ooh. Why there? Ew. Yeah, I will say hi. First, look at my badge. It's a little tarnished, don't you think? That's cute. Alright, let's go talk to Miss Von Karma. Thought I'd ever come back to this place. Why are you still here? Edgeworth? Director Francisca. How is Francisca Von Karma? See, I'm first taking care of her. Yes. And that thing, that surgery, it went well. You have my gratitude. Oh no. Poor Edgy Poo. Last stand. Yes, but it was a gun, you know. It's just a boom, boom, bang, bang, you know. It's just the way it is. Really, yeah. Ooh, I see. And you're a fucking lecherous pig, I see. I think I could get used to being whipped. You know, like my wife. She whips me all the time. It's so good. Good. He deserved that. Go back to your room. And what does those tulips in your hand, Mr. Phoenix writes? Can we present? Do we have flowers? We can't present the flowers. I was shot in front of the courthouse in my right shoulder. It's no big deal. This sort of thing happens all the time. That would have been too much for you. Regardless, I'm dragged here by that man over there. Simply interested in stealing my case. That was the only logical course of action, given the bullet was still lodged in your shoulder. I found myself having to clean up after you and that responsible deal you made. Ooh. This is my karma. You deal with Miss Andrews yesterday. Why? To make sure you guilty verdict to Mr. On guard. You told Miss Andrews not to testify in court today. Denying it? Looks like you were lucky, Mr. Phoenix writes. If I had been in court today, that trial would have already been over. That isn't my problem, whether she has tampered with the evidence or not. I have only one objective, to find On guard guilty of murder. That's a little cold. It's on karma. Adrian Andrews believed you when you said, if you don't tell the truth of what really happened, then On guard will be found guilty. Because of that, she is now in danger of being found guilty herself. All because she believed in your words until the very end. But you had to know she was... That was a little responsible of you, Francesco. You can't deny that. What happened today at the trial, Edgeworth? That was not like you at all. You knew about Miss Andrews' condition. You could have made her testify as many times as you wanted, but go that far. She wouldn't testify about that until I said something. Listen, Wright. The courtroom is a garden of judgment. I'm putting myself on the line when I stand in there. And that's why I made the witness do the same. It's only natural. By the way, Edgeworth, tell me about this fucking card that scares the shit out of you. He was really pissed about this card. That was definitely odd. That card, what in the world is it? You mean this? Listen, Wright. This is top secret information. You absolutely cannot leak this. Investigations team has existed for a number of years, but few know of it. Their task is to find the owner of this card. A man called Shelly the Killer. As his name implies, he is a killer, an assassin, the best at that. So he was the true killer all along. So who is this Shelly the Killer? The Killer is the name of a long-standing line of assassins. The name first appeared about 100 years ago, I hear. Shelley's the professional name of the third heir to the Killer name. The shell on them. He has a habit of making sure to leave a card by the body of his victims. We think it's a part of his duty to his clients. If he leaves a card, then his client can be assured it was he who killed the victim. Also serves an insurance against any charges being pushed onto his clients. The killer values the trust between his clients and himself above all else. Even though this is one honorable assassin with a moral conscience. Let's not go that far. Let's not go that far. He's the one who did the killing in this case. It would appear that way. The discovery of the card basically confirms it, wouldn't you agree? There's something at the trial today. You were behaving in a very strange manner. Is something the matter? I might as well tell him. Maya, she's been kidnapped. Kidnapped? What does the kidnapper want? An acquittal. I see. Had no idea. I'll prepare a rescue team as soon as possible and resolve this by tomorrow. Stop trying to console me, Edgeworth. I don't need your pity. There's no way we could find her. We don't even have a single lead to go on. I have to get an acquittal somehow. It's the only way. Right, listen. You need to know something. One creator was killed by Shelly the Killer. And the client who ordered the job is Matt Ungard, your own client. I see. Well, if you want to continue your investigation, you will need this. The hotel right now is restricted to police personnel only. We are looking for any clues that might lead us to Shelly the Killer. But if you take this with you to the hotel, I'm sure they will let you enter. And so here is the interesting moral dilemma of the final case. Revealed in plain text. Though perhaps you should ask Matt his opinion on this. Do you think Mr. Ungard hired an assassin? No way. Yeah, I guess not. Safe and sound. I guess even kidnappers can be a little clumsy. Assassin? I bet he's just making that up, just like how Nick does with everything in court. Jesus Christ, Maya! True, but Jesus Christ! So okay, the door is open. This seems like a bad idea. I've got a feeling I'm not in a hotel. You sure aren't. There's a picture sitting on this coffee table. It's a picture of a woman. She's kind of pretty. This says, with love, Celeste. Celeste, the manager, the one that got suicided. It's a bear, like the ones in Matt Carita's room. computer. I have no idea where the power switch is on this. Well, that's not going to be useful. Antenna, I guess, and this is a VCR. Where's the power button? Alright. There's a doggy door. You simply will not do. I cannot have you wandering around at will. It seems that young Mr. Wright is truly concerned about you. For now, I would suggest you remain cooperative. If you cannot, there are ways in which I can help you. Dead man tell no tales. Is that how this saying goes, correct? I'm almost certain that I told you on our first meeting I am an assassin. People are not always who they appear to be. Yeah, let's talk to Mr. On Guard about what we've just heard. I feel like he has something he just say to us. You Mr. Wright, you say? Oh yeah, there's a message here for you. What did he write? Is it something really important? Mr. Lawyer Dude, I've got something really important to tell you. Oh, Mr. Wright. So actually, I have a favor to ask of you. I let this cat named Chew. I didn't put a lot of food when I left the house, so he probably is pretty hungry. Think you could drop by my house and feed Chew for me, dude? My house is just a little ways down from the hotel, alright? Good lord, Matt. Okay, sure. I guess we're doing this. Go to the hotel just to get to his house? Alright, now Mr. Nick, let's go look for clues. We have to, for Mystic Maya's sake. Don't you value my name and turn into a gasp, you... you are a bad guy, though. Oh, he actually gave you the gum. I'm not reading all of that. I'm happy for you, though. We're sad that it happened. Your hands off of me. Gum is airtight. No air is getting in, and no air gets out. Don't think you can get me to move my silly questions. Can we go... Yeah, let's go to the house. On-guard mansion living room. Why is there a fucking motorcycle hanging from the ceiling? What the fuck? What a lovely cat. Hello, Shoo. Okay. Hey, help me with something, mister. Oh, well, we are lawyers. Actually, I'm Mr. On Guard's lawyer. The masters? Then you must be Mr. Wright. Yes. Ah, it's a pleasure to meet you, wonderful self. I am the family butler, John Doe. John Doe is a very, like, obviously fake name, but we'll go with it. You must know all sorts of things about Mr. Unguard, right? Honestly, sir, I don't believe a master is capable of such a foul deed as murder. Anything else? No, not especially. It's not appropriate for a lowly servant to speak of the master on his affairs. How long have you been sick? Well, sir, I would have to say maybe about 1 year. And anything else? No, not especially. It is not appropriate for a lowly servant to speak of himself and his affairs. It's a very cute cat you've got there. It is my duty to take care of him. The master rather fancies, sure. And anything else? No, not especially. It is not appropriate for a lowly servant to speak of a family cat. Well, I'm afraid I must take my leave of you now. So young and yet already so accomplished a master of law. Thank you for the compliments, sir. People are not always who they appear to be. Now, if you'll excuse me. I might as well take a poke real quick. Poke, poke, poke. Yeah, what does separate a hearth from a fireplace? That's a good question. I actually don't know the answer to that. If there is one. It's one, yeah, it's the motorcycle. Sorry to disappoint you. I can't fly. It's wired up. Though I'm not gonna lie, I would not want to sit on that sofa with that bike over my head. I wouldn't do it. I just wouldn't. That's literally the door that Maya was in. I bet you could fit in there, Pearls. Ah, masks. Perfect for COVID-19. The evil magistrate. They fought many battles in the backdrop of Neo Old Tokyo. He learned it from Maya. He learned it from Maya. Probably.